It's Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Bienvenue.
Hello.
Salut. And konnichiwa. And then all of my language skills. Yeah,
God
well,
eftermiddag, as we
okay,
say in
fair
Danish.
I guess you can also say hey. I know this in Danish.
Hey,
And
yeah.
then, do you use the same in the Icelandic version also? Like hey,
Yeah.
something short?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think so. I am still working on my Icelandic, so yeah.
Perfect. How are you doing?
Oh, I well, like I said, I'm getting old, and I just hurt my back reaching for some chocolate on a very high shelf at home. So it's tragic, man. It's
Oh, nice.
I am all in all quite good. It's no complaints. How about you?
I'm also very good. Yeah, the week was a bit stressful, but still, yeah, I had worse days, and last week I also felt like a bit of catching a cold. This is also gone, so I feel normal. That is very, very
Nice.
nice. And we do have our guten Tag, good Tag. It sounds almost like German. It's
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah,
a
well,
very short
Danish
version of
is
it.
a Germanic based language, I guess. So
Yeah. We use hey to get attention of someone. Yeah, well, I
yeah,
wanted to get your attention, and it
yeah,
worked. It
yeah.
seems.
Exactly. And when you say the word in Danish, like the tone you use, it can you can if you have a soft sweet tone, then it means something different than you are like using an angry tone. So
Hey,
yeah. It's like it's
hey.
the shorter version of WTF. Like
Nice.
sometimes like. Anyway, Stephen, last week we were looking at the PR that you have going,
Yes.
right? And we were sort of trying to pull that whole situation apart with Navigation Manager. And
Yes.
when you call navigate to, we also wanted it reflected automatically in your tests. And I think we got to a point where we had a good idea of how to do that. So,
Yep.
of course, you are done with all of that since last week, right?
Yes, because I really invested a bit of time. I tried a
Oh,
few
you did?
things, but
Oh, I was
yeah,
actually
only
making you a
no,
joke. I didn't
no.
expect it to do anything, but awesome.
Oh, I did it only a bit.
Yeah.
But I hit the expected wall of the
Yeah.
needs of a lot of reflection. So I tried to do something or find a way with. I was very optimistic and I thought, like, hey, maybe we can do it without any reflection. And obviously, that doesn't work. No,
No.
it just doesn't. There's no way. I just tried to find some other types and stuff. But like, you need something like the route table. You need some objects which do the heavy lifting for you. And unfortunately, all of them are internal.
Yeah, and it's a bit annoying, but that's what was also the conclusion I reached with HTMXer, and I didn't really see a good way to get around that, honestly. So, but again, like I said, I think mentioned last time, they are fairly stable, those routing APIs and URL parsing bits, because they're used all over in ASP.NET, right? Minimal APIs, Blazor, ASP.NET Core,
Yeah.
there's quite a bit of overlap there. So I am okay with us taking a dependency on those. Internal, we have a few reflection-based stuff anyway. So yeah, I think besides, I don't know if we want to follow up on that first, I also saw you had a few. You created a release earlier today of bUnit. I don't know if you
Yeah,
want to take us through if there's any community stuff we need to follow up on, and then we can look at that. And hopefully, if we have time, we can look at .NET 9 new stuff for Blazor that we might need to support. Or
sure,
what
sure.
is what do you think?
Let's make the community stuff. I'm not even sure if there's much worth of sharing the screen or sharing anything right now. So the iMemory cache, I guess that's a lot of folks know it's basically the in-memory version you can use in your ASP.NET application, or not even ASP.NET. You can use it wherever you want. It's just a NuGet package. Yeah, there's a dependency even in your console application. And version 8.0.0 had a CVE, and we are using the in-memory cache, or we're not using it, we're just offering it. We automatically registering the iMemory cache into the service container because this is what Blazor does, and we just
Yeah,
want to make that behavior. So bUnit itself doesn't cache anything with iMemory cache, but we want to emulate the production environment as close as possible. And therefore, we had to update that peer dependency, or that's not a peer dependency, it's a direct dependency we are
yeah,
using.
yeah,
Yes, so exactly.
yeah.
There's also the hybrid cache. That's a
I
good question.
agree.
I'm not sure what happens with
So
laser and
I think what we have though is that we just have the only thing we really have is the no, you're right. So yeah, I also prefer hybrid cache, but if you do a .NET new Blazor app in .NET 8 and probably .NET 9 as well, what you get by default registered is the just standard memory cache implementation of iMemory cache. And I think a hybrid cache also implements iMemory cache. So at the end of the day, so this is sort of one of those cases where we got a request to support that, and it seemed like a no-brainer because we don't really use it ourselves. We just add it as a registration to the service container. I am not sure if that was a mistake, honestly, because it's like a it's probably fine, honestly. But yeah, we can double check in .NET 9 if they use hybrid cache instead of memory cache, but I don't think so.
I guess it would break a lot of things because hybrid cache also means that object has to be serializable, which with the normal
Yes.
iMemory cache it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
That's the good thing. We can maybe go through the .NET 9 things, especially for Blazor, and maybe it pops up there. I hope if this is such a change, it should pop up there.
Oh yeah. But so another question actually. So do you want to go back and look at the PR from last week, or do you want to start with .NET 9 and just go through, create a demo project, try out some things, and start with that, and then, or do you want us to spend time on the other thing first? Like, or do you want to sort of
I
get into a
prefer right now the .NET 9 one because it's
okay?
a bit, in front of the door. The other version, yes, it sounds stupid, but we have known workarounds. We have an open PR. We could anytime merge
Yeah,
and do it differently if we want internally. That's absolutely fine. But if there
yeah,
are major gaps for .NET 9, I feel like we should close them. It's only like
yeah.
2 weeks time.
Yes. Okay. So that's the agenda, I guess. .NET 9. And
And I wrote it in a banner, so we should stick to.
yeah. Okay, it's decided. Okay, so let's see. Let me.
Huh.
I can. So I think maybe the approach would be that we create a new bUnit test project for .NET 9, and we
Yeah.
just try out test that does this. So let's.
Can also, if you want, open the changelog or the,
Yeah.
the, the release notes or whatever they call it right now, the blog posts.
I would want to do both, I guess.
I do like that.
Hang on, I've been so stupid. I haven't even checked what is the latest version we have. .NET
RC2.
9. Is it RC2? That's the latest.
Yes.
Let me double check that I actually have that on my machine.
That's also what I updated today with. So the bUnit 134 release, which came out today, will have the latest RC2 packages.
So let's see. .NET dash info. Let's see what we have. to work with. Ah, dang it! I have RC. I have RC1. All right. Shouldn't take too long. X64, please.
You have x86 now.
Did I take?
Yeah, you pressed on.
Oh, god damn it! That's God.
So yeah, I think this is a good approach. We can go, through all the
All right.
stuffs. Some
So
of them
while we
we
wait,
covered.
yeah.
Yeah.
So while we wait for that, let's do this. Let's start by just going through this, and let's see Blazor, .NET MAUI, hybrid web apps. I don't see anything here that relates to us. That's just new stuff, right?
No.
Static asset delivery optimizations. That's
Ah,
not related to us either.
no.
Detect rendering
But it's a cool
locations.
feature. I used it.
Yeah.
It's really nice for folks who don't know and who
Oh,
use
absolutely.
how's the old one called? Use static asset, I guess.
Yeah.
Now
So
they have to break a bit.
the thing is that they do, and I have a .NET 8 Blazor app in production, and once what I did to make this work was that I had to, because you push a new update of things, right? With new HTML, CSS, or not HTML, but CSS and JavaScript, and you would like users will have the previous versions cached, so they don't see the change you've made to JavaScript, CSS, or other static assets, pictures, right? So what I did was I created a small component, basically like a static asset component that would capture the build hash from the assembly at startup. So it's like a static property, and then it would just append that to the URL as
a
like
query parameter.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically cache busting it, and but I think that's supposed to be built in now. Let me see. I probably have to.
Yes,
close
also
this
in the
down.
assets itself. So if you bundle
Yeah.
something, that's the nice thing.
Yeah, I probably
Amazing.
think we should
Yes.
still do as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well. So yeah, but again, that
Okay.
doesn't really affect us. Now
No.
here's another interesting thing to display: detect rendering location, interactive assign render modes at runtime. So this might be something that we need to expose.
Yeah. Or at least don't crash if someone calls that in their production code.
I think so. I wonder. So basically, there's supposed to be a component-based render
Ooh.
mode info and assigned properties. I guess these are based on. So you can say, hey, if it is interactive, we can do stuff. If it's not, so that probably, hopefully, it's a service that we don't have to use reflection to get access to. Let me just double check. Still doing that thing. So. And let me kill Teams here, so I in task go away.
P kill.
Yeah, it is a nice small thing you can do in Windows 11. You can actually add the in tasks, which is like going into the task manager, finding and killing it through that. Because sometimes when you just close an app, it doesn't really close.
Is this via PowerToys or is this now default?
No, it's a new thing that's in Windows 11 in one of the later versions. Let me also update
Microsoft.
To the latest features. Yeah. Well, actually, Windows is. It's like they iterate. I think with the going. So one of the things that people were talking about when Windows 10 came out, and they say this is going to be the last version of Windows. I think in a sense it is, because I didn't do like when I wanted to get Windows go from 10 to 11, I just ran Windows Update and it would give me the latest version. It's not like I had to do and you get like bigger release packs, like service packs we got back in the days that have a whole bunch of new features, but they keep like, it's much easier for them to iterate and push out new functionality because they don't have to do it in a 3-year release cycle where they bunch all of it up together. So it's like trickles in. Anywho, we need this render info.
Yeah, this one.
So we need to.
We have to expose a mechanism.
Yeah, I would imagine that we would have a way in. I don't know if it's something we said globally or it's like a. yeah,
Let's
it
see
is
what
like,
it offers and how we can approach it.
well, it looks like
Maybe.
if we actually go here,
Oh,
source, and then component base. Let's look at that, how it's done. I believe I can close that one, get us a bit more working space here. So this should be based on .NET 9. 1 second, hang on.
wait, now I have to take it over. Damn it, I didn't prepare for that. Oh god. Mom, you prepared me, and now I'm screwing it up. So he's on source.net. I could dance in the meantime, but I'm not good at this. So let me just take over the screen, and I try to find the same thing. So I'm shared. I have a bit of zoom. Yeah, 150%. Ah, damn it, you were quicker. I was super nervous. I couldn't deal with it. I was like, "Gah."
Okay.
No, just
All
kidding.
right.
You can take over the screen again if you
All
want.
right. So I think I found it here. Let's bump it up to 200, right? I hope it's, let us know in, yeah. So we have render info, which is a public shield class. That's at least something. And you can
I like that
pass in,
icon. I like the bee. I like the
what
bee.
would be?
The comment. The is it for me is a bee
I am,
from Scott.
oh, I think it's a, isn't it a,
Reminds me of
oh,
Pokemon.
it's a Pokemon, yeah.
Is it a Pokemon?
I think it's a
Nice.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon.
It's a round yellow thing with big eyes. It's Japanese.
So it has to be Pikachu. It is Pikachu.
Yeah. Okay, but we can see the renderer info is coming from the render handler. And where are you getting that from? Render handler is getting it from the renderer. Okay, and the renderer is here. Oh, okay, nice. We have a protected method we can override in renderer. Okay, so that's our hook. So in .NET 9, there will be a protected property render info that we renderer info that we can override. Yeah, and that will allow us to give users a way to control this. And unfortunately, though, this is a shield class, so it's a read-only class on top of that. But we can, what we can do is we can allow people to change it, and we can just have a, in theory, we could just have a setter in our overridden method. I don't know. I wonder how we should surface this to the user. Should it be on the renderer? Like we have test context dot renderer, or is it too hidden?
Well, just to stick to our pattern, because we have this on multiple occasions right now, even though the renderer exposes that, we always do it via the test context. And I would prefer that, just so it feels more what we already did. Like, for example, dispose the whole thing is also, rendering is done like that. You could also take the renderer itself, but no one does that. I mean, no one does that. Sounds wrong, but we expose a lot of things via the test context, and I would like to keep it that way. It feels the most natural to me when I write tests.
Yeah. So .NET new. Do I have bUnit installed? .NET new.
Plus plus. I like that.
.NET new. Okay. Well, let's start with going to NuGet. Say NuGet bUnit template.
So you can just copy paste the CLI command.
Yes.
Nice.
Let's see .NET new install. I don't.
Yeah.
Want
Well,
that
you
version.
should. Yeah. Exactly.
This
well.
version.
Oh, you have one.
I had one apparently, but that was an older one, so that's good. Okay, .NET new bUnit, and did we have something like? I can't remember our commands.
The default is XUnit.
Oh, so I guess we need to add .NET 9 as a choice. Okay, do we want to?
I think we want to have it as a reference. Like, I don't want to. So if you make a new project, I think it's easier to add the reference to bUnit itself. or do it right now in the bUnit solution. I think that's the easiest.
Yeah. So should we do
Like a
.NET 9
container,
to-do
all
list?
the .NET 9 things we have to do.
Yeah,
Can you zoom in a bit? That would be.
of course. Sorry.
I am
So
of old age. I cannot see, and I'm on my phone. So
yeah. So
no, I'm
this
just
is
kidding. So the
this would
templates.
be update add .NET 9 as default
Target framework in templates.
target framework in bUnit template. That's one. All right. So we already spotted the first thing.
Amazing.
bUnit,
Render info.
and there's also the. I think you're able to also choose whether or not you want XUnit, right? Dash framework XUnit and dash O .NET 9.
What?
Play
It's the output.
Yeah, it's just giving it a name, right? So let me zoom in here as well. Okay, cd.NET 9 playground. Wow, Visual Studio is done very soon-ish. Okay, so I guess the first thing we need to do is to change it to, it defaults to 7 even, so yeah. Did the SDK type change?
I don't think so. I have multiple Blazor applications. None of them did complain if I upgraded to .NET 9. So my gut tells me no.
Okay, let me just log in here to Vision. There we go.
Alternatively, I can also take over the screen if you want, but whatever fits.
You are welcome to do that if you want to start us up on a we can switch back and forth. I will maintain the
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. I present my screen. Share screen. Now the action is. So, Mom, you prepared me for that. 33 years. Let's go. First, I have to zoom. So I learned that we need. I guess. Let me know. Is this something readable?
It is,
or a
but
bit more. A bit more.
You're showing a project that is.
Yeah. I know.
I just want to make sure you're not showing something you shouldn't be showing, like client projects.
I just so let's look API key.
Yeah, exactly.
No. That's just a project. So I do think I will start, to be honest, with the Blazor web app and then just add the project later on.
Oh, well, actually, what you can do is let's add a .NET 9 Blazor web app, and we can just add bUnit to that and write test directly in. Well, we want a test project. I was actually just going to have a test project and have Blazor components directly in there instead of having two projects. But whatever you do works as well.
Or do we want to have it directly in bUnit? Should I just spin up bUnit and add this another project there so we can test stuff? No, huh?
I think it's good to have a playground where you isolate things. So what you, we can always have a separate window open with bUnit in separately, if that makes sense.
Okay. .NET 9.
That was my plan, at least.
And Blazor. All cool things here. So I'm very good at naming. You should hire me. All your projects will have beautiful names. So NUnit, absolutely not. Not that I have personally something against NUnit. Create. What's up?
I just said no, of course not.
Oh, look, beautiful. So I want to go here. I want to say that is a Razor file, and I want to add bUnit with a B. So package reference include. That's new. bUnit version. Oh well, almost. But I want to have this one.
Yeah.
May Zing. Okay, so we can basically start and say, hey, let's add a Blazor component. And we want to call that, I guess, renderer info component because this is the first thing we want to start. Am I right?
Yeah. I guess maybe let's create a, I don't know. Yeah. Renderer info component. Yes, why not?
Okay.
And you can actually, if you go to the example document they had, that would be
150. Yeah.
so let me find that document for you.
Yeah, I have it. I guess it's this one, huh?
Yeah.
On there.
Was new.NET 9.
Yeah, page renderer mode. That sounds like we want to go here.
No, I don't
Am I
think
too
that's
far?
the page I found.
What's new in .NET 9? And then we have here Blazor, and there's the Blazor hybrid stuff we discussed.
Yeah, okay, that looks right.
There is here.
Static ASIC.
I was scrolling way too
and
far.
then I clicked the link. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Which
did I
I
just
think
copy?
I think it just took you down further down the page. So it was it's the same.
Yeah. No, there's a different one. Here's no render mode.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
okay,
that's a really
yeah,
different
yeah,
page.
so good. So yeah, you can just, I guess. Well, okay, that example might not make a whole lot of sense because we.
Next is just how to render mode. Well, I would have just removed the bits here and just made something useful.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need half of the information. Basically, we need this one, and then we are good.
So if we try to imagine what people might want to do in a test, they might want to say, well, okay, if the render mode is interactive, or if it is X, then this happens code-wise. If it's not, something else happens, right? So
we can make ourselves way
we
easier. We can just say like here, render info, huh?
Yeah, you can make it very simple. Say if it's well, sure, why not?
For the start. Yeah.
Well, actually, even better. I think, did I see correctly that it was actually a records type?
Indeed. I think you did see that.
No, it's
right.
Not. Dang it. So it doesn't have a nice print screen functionality. I think what you do is we just create a component that renders out the render info name and is interactive, and just have it, and then we can just assert against that.
Okay. So, okay. And then I will remove all of this because the only thing we need is a nice function, which is called
you don't even need that.
Info.
You don't even need that. Just create a p tag or something, or two p tags.
I wanted that. Okay.
And then do add. Exactly. Add random info dot and then
and render mode, which is the name. Okay, also render. Yeah, fair enough, huh? That should do the trick.
Oh man, I'm getting triggered now. Can you make the interactive I lowercase?
This one?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So there we go. Let's render that component.
Yeah. Let's start by just So I don't think you even need to do that. I think it's defaults included.
No, I didn't use the template. I wanted to save time, and then I was like, I just created from scratch and do this. But yes, in theory, so for whoever is watching that now or in the future, you don't have to do that. That's version 1. That's version 1. I'm so sorry. So privately, I'm only working with version 2, and I'm so used to using bUnit context that
we got a question here. Do you want whether pre-rendering is enabled as well? So it seems to me, Blazor Mr. Magoo, that the property, what's it called again? Renderer info just have a two. It has two properties on that itself, the type, and that is the if it's interactive or not. So I don't know if I don't know if I don't think we need IDs. We can just do markup matches.
Yeah.
Right. So I think to answer your question, we just want to expose a way for users during a test of a component that will use that renderer info method to be able to toggle that so they can have the component change to something different. So I don't think that will work. You need to actually wrap that in an element, right? You have to wrap it in the text element. Otherwise, it's gonna complain because you can only have one root element.
Can I do it like that and then just do it pretty?
Yes, that's fine as well. So you have to use triple what's it called?
Triple quotes.
Yeah. And then
dear IDE, please don't do that to me.
Just help it with indentation. No, you have to have those up in front, and you can remove the @ sign. Probably just
wait. Okay, but the okay. So you said this. Yeah. Well.
Oh, it's so nice that writer recognizes that it's HTML and still give us syntax highlighting. Visual Studio doesn't do that, so it's a bit annoying. Can you move the indentation in so there's the components are just there? We go. Yeah.
An opening is missing corresponding closing. A what? Undetermined string literal. What? Are you sure? Just recompile.
Did you change it to?
Wait, but it has to be. But markup matches just takes a.
It's you're passing it in a string.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a rendered fragment, so it should work, not?
Yeah, it should.
And these. Wait. So an opening bracket is missing. I know that's this one here, huh? That's triggering you as well. I can see that. Haha. Oh, amazing! It just gone into my browser for no apparent reason. Okay.
So the question is, have you changed the SDK type of the project?
Is it .NET 9?
It should be fine. Yeah.
Let me just double check on the file system. There is no global JSON, which also would prohibit .NET 9, so that should be fine.
Yeah.
Is it because of Razor has problems with that?
So try just commenting out markup matches the whole call there. Yeah, and rebuild again. Don't. It doesn't matter. I just want you to build without.
Okay.
Okay, so that works. Okay, so try commenting in again.
It might be that Blazor has a big problem with raw string literals.
I don't think so, but it might be. Well, so the test you have there, you can just have in a C# class. You maybe want to do that. It gives us better refactoring. It's just.
Let's do that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The unit public class unit has 2. Why not opening this, closing this, compiling? Yeah, it doesn't work. Well, let me just have this for future reference. I just want to have
in bUnit you would just use render fragments instead.
I know, but now I'm interested. Why? Public class.
It's because of the namespace. You're missing a namespace for your test. So in the namespace.
I am in the same namespace. I don't need this.
No. You have to in C# files. You have to set it explicitly, I believe. So you have to choose the .NET 9 stuff, something, yeah, and then you should be fine, good to go.
Interesting. So this works.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. Well, doesn't matter.
It might be the triple quotes, but they don't work in Razor mode. But yeah. Anyway, So I guess if you run the test, it will fail, or rather, it will give us, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what we're expecting to get as a result.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the default if it's not set?
Well, no render has been initialized. Am I stupid right now? Am I really too dumb? Ah, Scott wrote, you have to add what I did at the beginning. Sorry if I interrupt. Jumpy. You have to add the @ sign. And then it really works.
Okay, weird.
That is
Because
interesting as heck.
the @ sign is not needed in. No,
Exactly.
but you can see it changes. It's no longer a raw string.
Ah,
So it's no longer a raw
so
string now when you add the @ sign.
I know in Writer, Writer refactors it like that it adds even the additional quote here, and I guess this compiles now. No, it also doesn't
Yeah.
compile. You know
Yeah,
what?
because
That is
when you
something
when
for
you when,
future us.
yeah, when you add the @ sign, then the two following quotation marks after the first one becomes something that's part of a string. That's what the @ sign gives you. So now it's not a raw string literal anymore. Anyway, let's figure
In
out why bUnit doesn't work.
This is interesting. So just that I know, so here this is unit test 2. Just clicking double. What does bUnit do for render info? And just run it. And the invalid operation exception comes from, so if I take here, literally render component. And I do think because we are using the render info, it throws internally an exception.
I don't see why.
Test context. I mean, in the worst case, we can test render here, line something, render fragment. Let's go a bit more down. Yeah, that sounds very much like assert non-handled exception. We can just check what's in there.
I'm just looking over and the renderer again
So
to find the, what's it called? Renderer info.
interesting. Oh wait, let me check something before I do stupid shit. I remove everything. So we have an empty markup. Empty markup. So we see there's no renderer info. So this cannot be the problem. So this test will obviously fail, but should not fail with. Yeah, I see. You see, it's literally the renderer info, which is troublesome.
Okay, so that's because we haven't set it. We're not setting it. So
Yes.
okay. So actually, I guess to figure out if a good way to work around this. Well, okay. So I guess actually we want to go ahead and open bUnit and just on v1 and work in there, because then we can go ahead and experiment a bit.
Yes. Okay, so directory package props, I guess no one cares. Changelog also no one cares. I do think we should just take the components. Yeah.
Close all the open things, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then go into
Got you covered.
add it to test assets.
There we go. There we have render modes. Look at this. We already have something. So we want to have here a new component called render info component. And now I just, we don't need this today anymore. I just copy paste this test. Oh, the test component. Here's not your, No, we don't do it like that. We do it differently. Well, we do it a bit like that, but we call it render info component. And we start doing this if net 9 or greater. I know there's an 8. I can count, I promise. Then set our target framework to .NET 9.
So Skull thinks that string format works, or string littles work with string format. But yeah, but do you mean raw strings? Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. That's I guess for us to investigate.
Good. So we have an open p tag. We close it here. Then we have another one. That is literally what we did before.
Yeah.
And this one for apparent
A little
reasons.
bit a little bit extra.
Short question before we continue doing this. Shall we make the screen a bit bigger and remove the title so folks can better see?
Oh yes, I now I understand what you're saying. Yes, let's do
Yeah.
that.
Amazing. Oh, look, it fits here. The Blazor and .NET 9 here. It's just perfect.
It's almost on purpose, yeah. So if you
It's almost on purpose.
so if you can hide the whatever, go full screen as well, so you don't have the Mac taskbar. There we go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sight for sores.
Okay.
Let me actually push this over here.
Okay. So let's go to the web tests. Let's go to rendering, and we have a render.
Actually, that I know we have it on the web test, but this is probably the renderer info will be there independent of whether it's web or not. So I think it belongs in core tests.
Well then, but I would even call them like that, renderer info tests. Is this fine for you? Because this is literally what we're taking care of.
I think it makes sense.
And now I have to check how we did this here. We have here facts and display names. Okay.
It's the style I was
experimenting
with back 5 years ago. I would probably do it differently. Well, I would do it differently today.
Yeah, it's not that bad, to be honest. Renderer should. Well, no, the renderer I don't care about the renderer. I care about that the component has the render information. Component should have renderer information. Yeah, I feel like, yeah. I don't like it that they call it info.
So probably you want to be more specific. Say renderer provides renderer information. Test renderer. There we go.
However, happens.
Yeah, it's not really.
Yeah, I
see.
It's
just available on the renderer, and it's up to,
I know, but.
Okay. And here you can use string literals though. I would prefer that instead of using the @ version.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. We can talk about this. Oh, okay. I officially give up.
There we go.
So, didn't I call that thing like that? I am again stupid because I have to do this. I have to.
And you need to.
Exactly. If.
Yep,
hooray!
There we go.
So, obviously, if I just let that run, that should fail. The question is whether or not I should directly debug.
No, let's just see it fail first. I think the next thing you want to do is you want to open up the test renderer. Yep, and that's going to be a new property we want to override there.
Yeah, wait, our properties are here. So
that is actually good. No, never mind. We don't want to override it because it. Well,
yes, we need a setter.
We need a setter. That's right.
Well, the rest, I'm absolutely with you.
No, I agree, because you can also see other renderers they override that as well.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just have this single test here. I like this more. Exactly. No rendering has been initialized, probably because, well, to be honest, if it's fine with you, I would just really check what's the unhandled exception down there. Wasn't this like handle unhandled exception? Unhandled. This is the render call, huh? This patch erase.
Well, you can see it. You can see it. It says it's basically get renderer info. It throws when it tries to access the getter. So that's yeah.
Amazing. Okay, that said, let's add this beautiful property. It's so sunny here. I'm sorry, I have really trouble to see where my cursor is because exactly, I know you cannot see that, but exactly where my mouse is, it's just so glaringly mirroring the sun
Yeah.
that I sometimes have hard time to find anything on my screen. I could
Yeah.
also
And
close the blinds, but I don't like that.
so,
Yeah.
and I can see the exception is calling from render handler, and it basically says if the renderer info is null, it'll throw that exception we're seeing. So that's
Okay.
expected. So we just need to have something there.
Why does it always switch my target framework? It would be nice if it doesn't do that. Okay, so we wanna overwrite this boy.
We've checked it into
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just know.
well, let's look at the static renderer. It's
Remove the unused. Okay, amazing. Yes, static render.
yeah, you can just have it as an arrow pointing. So we want it to be changeable. So if we make it so that we have a private field called renderer info where we assign something to it, and then we just have an arrow pointing to that field. So instead of create a private field called renderer info.
I know.
You can put it inside exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, what's the advantage? But
well, because we can't, when we override, we can't provide a setter, I believe.
Oh yes, you can. That does work. It's just complaining that doesn't have. I wrote about static. Damn it! Damn you! Damn it! Yeah. Render info is no render right.
There you go.
Do I have to initialize it now?
I think we can initialize it to a default. So what would the default be? What would make sense?
A renderer name when it's interactive. So I have no idea where they get this information from. What is the possible list of renderer names? The name of the platform.
So I can tell you by default, if you have the static renderer, it's just the word static and is interactive false.
Yes, but that's not true fast. By default.
By default, no. Let's go. I will. So if I just steal the screen real quick.
Do it. Make your dreams come true.
I found. Well, I can also just send you a link. Let me actually do that instead.
No.
Banners, brand, private chat. Here we go. Try that one. It's over on private chat in screen.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I got it. But that's a Mac feature. You have to go out of the thingy. And then it doesn't want to load.
There you go. So here you can see I click the name, and then if you actually use the not that one, but no, click the name of the type name. Yeah, click that one, and then expand over to the side so we can see. So here you can see all the values that it's given in. So it's basically WebView.
I would take server.
Server interactive true.
Yes. It's not true. It's the question is, do people a favor if we don't take any of those 5 presets and just call it bUnit? Or does it lead to more problems?
So that's a good point. So I think is interactive, our default would be true, right?
Yeah.
But the name, if we set it to
Scott, thank you for providing that. Thank you.
Yeah. So if we go ahead and set it to something that is one of these 4, right? We also run the risk of maybe giving people
a false assumption.
yeah, they're testing something, right? If they have a component where it
Yeah.
looks for the word server for component name or renderer info name, they might not figure out. So I don't know if we want to provide one of the good known defaults from Blazor, or if we just want to.
I argue no. I argue in favor of something like that.
Yeah.
Because none of those 4 modes is really what we're doing. It's not like we are Blazor server. We are not Maui with a web view. We are not WebAssembly. Yes, you can add in those capabilities, but it's a bit up to you depending what you need.
So yeah, yes and no. So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. So the thing is, though, if people are actually, because people are never going to use bUnit in production, I assume.
Yes.
So they're gonna so they, as soon as they realize that the renderer info is not the one they expect, they would need to go and change it. So we would be forcing everybody, independent whether they're testing server or WebAssembly or WebView or whatever, we would force them to go and explicitly have to set that in all their tests instead of giving them a default where we pick one for them. Right. So convention over configuration or configuration over convention.
Second. And my reason is that you will, if we say something like server or WebAssembly or static, which is the new default, it's not static, sorry. No, it is static.
Yeah.
Then yes, you will probably be right in 80% of cases. And you will make people, the other 20%, having a hard time because we did the defaults for them. And the only thing their only chances, they have to go to our documentation and they have to find it. If we take something which is basically not available in production, I know we are not emulating Blazor correctly in this moment, but they will see the name and something, the test will be read, hopefully. So the indication that something is wrong, fail fast. Basically, that's my argumentation.
Or a third, excuse me. A third option is that if users have, like we have in our test, we have a need, like if basically, I guess what I'm saying is, if users have a component like we have now, where we are trying to access that component, that property, we throw an exception saying, hey, this is bUnit telling you have to go and so my reasoning is, if okay, hear me out.
No, I'm on your side. It's just it's a sealed class.
No. We can create our own bUnit renderer info missing. You haven't specified that exception. So because we can, so my idea is that we can throw an exception when they try to access the property if they haven't set one. So the idea is that you do that so that the user will get a nice exception message telling them, this is how you specify what renderer info you want for this particular test. If we set a default, they will have to go and find that through documentation otherwise. Right. So
I am much in favor of the exception.
So what you do is we make it nullable, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that is just throw basically. So like here.
And then you say question mark, and then a bUnit specific exception.
Yeah.
And with a good long exception description telling folks what to do about this, right? So that we don't choose a default for them.
Do we have a nice place here? Where is this exception living? It's just living in the root. I do not like to have it living there in the root. I would like to have it here. We have other exceptions here. I like
yes
that.
and no. Yes and no. So I think for me it's important that we don't have too many namespaces in play.
Wait. First things first. All of those in rendering. They have. I thought we switched over and have everything in bUnit.
I think maybe. Yeah, I guess not. It's parameter exception. It's
Yeah, exactly. So Blazor defaults to SSR if no render mode is specified, but I guess your case is a good idea to explicitly set it yes, and mainly
Yeah.
because our default mode is not static server side, so you have basically always interactivity. If you click a button via, click, so click from the bUnit click method, then something will happen. Your on-click event handler will be executed, so we are for sure interactive.
Well, so I think also the reason why they have this feature in in Blazor now is that in .NET 8, if you don't specify render mode and you do, on-click event handlers and other things, right? They will just not do anything if you're in static SSR, if you're running there, right? They don't work, right? You might have an element with an on-click Blazor on-click event handler on it, but it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. But then now you have an easy way to sort of detect what mode you are in, and maybe then instead of rendering a button with a interactive functionality, you would then have it as a form, so you can sort of what's it called? You have a nice way of doing fallback. So fallback into a different. So you can have one component that works in multiple different places. So yeah, no, I think it's fine.
But yeah,
The users are not going to be throwing that exception themselves, so that's okay that it's under a different namespace. They are not. They're just going to receive that exception. So I think it's fine. It's under rendering, and I think it's fine that we have another one under there as well. For types that the users are explicitly using, I would prefer to have it just under the bUnit namespace, so it's easily accessible to them.
This is a name you can live with. The alternative I had like invalid render remote, but that's
I
also
wouldn't
not
say
true.
invalid. I would say missing. So that leads us to the next question: how should users be able to provide that?
Oh, wait, let me just create this because I'm lazy. Let's go to the test store because that's the interesting bit for users. And now that's a good question. So do we need there are two ways? Or we could just say, hey, you can just put it here. You can just say from the test context. So I just make it very, very explicit. Set renderer info or set renderer mode, or however we call that. Here's your name, and then here is interactive would be true or false, whatnot. So the thing is that works globally. So if you need a way of
one thing though, I don't want us to have a method where we pass in name and is interactive true false. I want us to have a method or property or something else where they can pass in the renderer info object, because if Microsoft in .NET 10 adds other properties to renderer info, we would have to update our method names instead. So I just want people to know of the object. It's public sealed, so they can do that.
I don't like that much. I'm not sure if this is a great idea. If we
I think it's better because then users are also able to say, well, this is the exact instance I passed in. That's the one I expect to see in my test if they have anything like that. But we can still have set render info.
Yeah, fair. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm with you. That's just details right now. So let's put this here in foo and true. But my question where I wanted to drive at is more the question of, do we do this, which basically sets it globally, which leads to the thing that maybe this component is static, but one down below the tree is not static. And basically, you don't have much of a way of.
Well,
but yeah,
I don't think it works that way, right? If you have a component that has child components inherits your render mode, the parents.
True.
So I don't think it's really and there's only ever one renderer in play in Blazor anyway. Like you can't have both static and okay. So that's I think Blazor Mr. Magoo pointed out the pre-rendering in his question before, right? So you could have pre-rendering enabled, and then that would be then the render mode
That would be not
static.
interactive.
That would be static, and then the next time you rendered. But that is like a full render cycle. So I don't see a reason why we can't have a property where people can go and set renderer info, and then after the first render, they can choose to render again, and then before they call any method that causes a render to happen, they could set a new set a new render info if they want that. So yeah, the question is, should it be so? Right now, if you could do renderer, it's like the property renderer, and then dot.
Yeah.
So renderer is a property we have, right? And it could just have a render info on it.
So
right?
basically, yeah, of course it can.
Yeah.
Basically, we would just overwrite, like expose that thing.
Well, I guess we would.
To more to like obviously we would overwrite the object, so we can still have this thingy.
Yeah. Yeah, because you could also set it back to null if you want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we create a public void public renderer info property.
I guess our sorting, I have to put it down here somewhere.
No, it's fine.
I just want to be consistent.
Yeah, I know that wouldn't be. I don't know if it's. Can we have it as a property as well?
Well, then could be a property? Huh? There's no need for having this thing then. Public render info. Now it's interesting bit, the naming.
No, I think try to see if you can call it renderer info and still.
What like that?
You can do public new renderer info.
Ooh, no, not with both. What we could do,
that's annoying.
It's not coming from interface. You cannot just explicitly override it, so that doesn't work.
Right. Yeah.
So no, I'm much in favor of the method.
So yeah, we would have a method called set renderer info, right on the renderer. I think for a test, and then it would be it basically.
I do not know why I even did this.
Why? Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, that's why I suggested the whole.
So.
What's it complaining about? Oh,
XML docs.
Yeah.
That was even that bad. Yeah, I mean, look at the doc of render info if you want to know more.
Yeah.
So basically, then the test would look like. Where's my test here? Yeah, like that. Not set. Yeah, I'm. Wait, how do I do this without exactly?
I know you can't inherit any docs. There's no docs to inherit. Oh, no. I see. Oh, yeah.
Not until now, but let me just put this really down here.
Yep.
I could have just copy pasted everything, and I decided for some apparent reason not to. Amazing. Okay, so this works. There's one arrow here where the sun is shining. Yeah, here.
Oh,
I have to do this later.
Actually, we can use do it as a property now because the interface would just be explicitly implemented.
Is there any gain?
Beside having it as a method? No, I guess not. No, I think it's fine to do it like that. Yeah, and then you would basically have your your exception.
Exactly. I have the missing. I have to implement all the stuffs. How did I call it? Render info exception.
Yeah. And it doesn't take any parameters because it's very specific to this particular use case. Yeah, we can suppress that warning. Let's see.
I did class. Class was wrong. But at least I got the right one. Oh, thank you for putting me up down. So, waste the exception. Oh, no, wait, there was no momentum works exactly the other way around what I did. It's just,
if you
Sir
could
Isaac
collapse
Newton here.
your solution explorer over on the left side so we get a bit more horizontal space. There we go.
So,
yeah, you need to move it out of the comment. It's inside the comment right now.
That's on purpose.
Okay.
No.
Well, there you go.
Can you not do this? What? Cannot implicitly Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I will do it all. On purpose. I mean, obviously that's a bit, but
So hang on, let's see what is Scott suggesting here. So he says, I'd make them pass in null, SSR, render mode, whatever, the exact same way we are used to in Blazor. So I think if I understand, instead of passing in the renderer info type, we have the static. So I think what he's suggesting is that you have and we could even have an overload. I would probably be in favor of that, where we can pass in also the renderer info.
The renderer info?
Yeah, so you remember in .NET 8, and they're probably still around. So if you go to, if you go to your sample app, you still have that open? Blazor app?
Of course.
Yeah, if you go to the renderer, like that is, by default, you have the, go to the app.razor. Oh, you just created okay.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean, the interactivity mode.
Yeah.
It.
It's like built in. It's like a static imported type by default in Blazor projects.
Is it interactive render mode or something like that? Yeah, interactive auto component. Yeah, this stuff.
Yeah, so
that's what you mean, no?
So the render mode type, that is a static type, I believe. If you click on that, yeah. Yes. So I think if you go to interactive render mode, for example, that inherits from iComponent render mode. I think we can have one that takes one of those as well, and basically switch over the
flags
options, the flags, yeah. But so actually, do we already have something? Because we support that in our test setup. So how do we? Or do we just?
No, we just create always. Yeah. There is something in the renderer. Let me check that here, where we just return anyway the instance. Let me just remove this here for a short second. I don't like it. Oh God, now I have to find it. We just use the component factory to create that thing. Yeah, this one. Oh, sorry. We just do this all the time. We don't distinguish between anything. You see?
Yeah, but so we have tests specifically from .NET 7 or something 8 where we support iComponent render mode, right? Those are tests are the next to the test that you already have. Yeah, that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do those tests work?
Hello world, where do we get this, by the way, from?
Oh,
it's
so the only thing. So the only thing we're really testing is actually
that thing is like can be created. An instance can be created via a render mode. That's the only thing we test.
Not really an instance. It's just a static. But yeah, okay. So,
no, I mean this component can be created independently what render mode you have. That's what we're testing.
the add render mode,
Yes.
whatever it's called,
Mm-hmm.
keyword. I don't know what the word is for that, but like the Razor keyword, add
Attribute?
render mode. It's sort of it's not a real attribute. It's like a custom. It has its own name, right?
Directive, then I would call
Yeah,
it.
directive. Probably that was the word I was looking for. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we could have an overload that takes the I render mode type as input, and then you can just use that instead of newing it up. But it's a freeform system in that, like, you renderer info will allow you to have any text. So I don't necessarily want us to just have. I think we should have that method, but we could also have a method called set renderer info or set render mode. But probably that might probably just set renderer info and then pass in what is it called again? I component render mode, yeah. And then we switch because there are 4 now built in. There's 4 modes. And what you want to do is we want to do a switch over the render mode. And here we go. Nice.
Because I'm 18. Well.
Yeah, okay. So not completely, but if you go into render mode, the CS, you have the decompiled file just above. No, go back where you were. You had the file. It's still open up the top right corner, just next to you, next to the open file. There you go. Just copy paste the name of those 4 free files there, the type, interactive server render mode, and put it in, and that maps over to. I think you just need to have a using namespace.
No. This again.
So,
well, we could put it. No,
you could also just do. You can do render mode dot the type, and then you could say render mode equals. So I don't think you can do it with the switch, but if you just do a good old fashioned if equals,
What equals?
So you say if render mode equals, then render mode again, but then the type itself, like render mode, the ones you have open. So
the problem is that those are in a different package. This is the exact same issue, isn't it?
No, I think they must be available because we have support them in bUnit, right? No, you don't want to do type off. I just want to say if it's the same instance. I guess.
I'm not sure. I'm not following at all what you want now.
So try to type render mode with a capital R.
There's this one?
No, just render mode. There you go. Dot.
It doesn't exist.
So we don't have.
The thing is that this one is in components web and component web like.
Oh, it's because we're down in core, so we want to move that up to. Okay, I see.
Which we cannot because the iTest render is also in core.
Yeah. Well,
should we just merge V2 and let those troubles all go away?
So
I mean, to be honest,
so what does the interface have? What does the interface have? Is it just a marker interface? Oh, it's just a marker interface. Yeah. Okay, great. So I guess what we can do is we can create that send renderer info as an extension method down in the web project. If we want to have both.
Yeah, that's fair. Wait, and we have to expose the whole render. Yeah. Wait. You are absolutely right, and we have a renderer test render extensions. Be on the web. Look at this. Oh yeah, reflection. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
So
tried. I
this
really.
is what we're doing here. Why it's causing us a bit of grief is because I designed bUnit to support other types of renderer outputs back in the day when I thought that might be a thing. It turned out never to be a thing. And it only basically web that we are trying to render in with Blazor. There were other targets at some point, like mobile Blazor bindings and Flutter and other experiments. So yeah, so that's why we
Hold on
have
a
sort of a core project and a web project. In V2 of bUnit, we will just have a single
The
project.
heck? Why can I not see that thing now? How is that possible? I'm more and more confused.
You're still in core, right?
I'm not.
No, you're not.
Sorry, I did not. This one. And even if I would be in core we saw that type. That makes even less sense then.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, I'm
here we go.
wobbly. Also, sorry. Yes, I can also. So yeah, I can also minimize that. But you can see it here. We are in bUnit web extensions. Why on earth do you not see iComponent render mode? Which is
It's because you need to.
wait. No. Here, I'm stupid. I'm just stupid.
You need to go to .NET. You need to, exactly.
As always, in a lot of cases, and especially with me, in at least 99.95%, the issue sits literally in front of the screen.
It's in Danish we have the saying called it's error 40. An error 40, and error 40 is because it's the person 40 centimeters from the screen.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, here, let's go. And then we want to say switcheroonies.
So you can just do, instead of doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm .NET 9. Yeah. Sorry, I was not aware that we are at .NET 9 here. So that's what you wanted, huh?
Exactly.
I'm a psych. How is it called? Psych? Not psycho, but you know those people. How's it called?
Psycho,
Damn it!
maybe not. Psychic.
No. Yeah. Those people who can look into the future.
Yeah.
A type of. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to do type off. You just want to do the type.
You see, I don't use this at all anymore. And then basically, I also want to have the renderer info equals. And now I want to make it.
No. You just. No. Yeah, well, you can do that, but I would. Okay. Do you want to use this? If you want to, so I guess what you want to do is you want to do switch. You want to do renderer info. So okay, write this renderer dot set render info on line 62. I see where you're going. So write this renderer dot renderer.
Yeah. I'm. I want to just
set
renderer info.
Yeah, and then you do render mode switch. Type render mode.
I know, but what?
Come on, trust me. Render mode dot switch. So render mode, the argument switch, yes, and then curly brackets. There you go. And you want to fix the casing, and then you can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. This one.
Yeah. So. And
he does it almost good. Almost. It's.
You can kill the name of, like, you can just do the type. You don't need to have give it a variable, just do case and then interactive server renderer.
What? Come again?
Remove interactive server render mode. You're giving it a new name. You just delete that. You don't have to have underscore even, I think. And then new renderer mode, and then give it I guess that would be server, and then true. There we go.
Come on, interactive. Is it with a comma or is it with a?
It's just WebAssembly.
I don't know. Sorry, I mean the delimiter between multiple cases.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's
Remove the
complaining about.
case. Thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you,
yeah.
thank you. I'm so. You know,
So
if you look at, we shouldn't stream this. It looks like I never wrote any C# code. That's not good. Really, it's just good. Okay, so
yeah,
interactive
and it
auto.
would
Yeah.
and yeah, if you go and find, let me. So it would be
You still have to say. How do we do this? The static stuff and stuff like that is the default. So if you don't pass anything in, it's automatically. Also, it faults. That is absolutely. Wait, this is absolute bullshit.
it's supposed to be WebAssembly, by the way, for the number 2. I chatted to you in private chat if you want to copy paste it, so it matches exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, my GitHub Copilot driven development isn't working out as I thought it will be.
Yeah,
The
I
auto
don't know
mode
if
it should be interactive as well.
auto doesn't exist. Like it's not an option, right?
Okay, what is it then? We had the
no,
4 options
no,
earlier.
Yeah, but that we have server, static, WebAssembly, and web view. So there's no match from auto
Now
over
we have
to.
to.
So there we just probably throw a helpful exception.
What?
Here we would throw an helpful exception saying, you can't convert auto into. Like I think here we're setting it to server. People are not going to understand that.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
or this again. This might actually be a good reason not to do this at all, because there's no one-to-one mapping between the iComponent render modes and renderer info, because we have static, WebAssembly, WebView, and server.
well, it's just a helper. It's not meant as the sole solution, at least as far as I understood.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah.
Yeah, this is a bit. I mean, it's both. At the beginning, it's server, then it's WebAssembly. So,
Yeah, I would rather, because people are going to be surprised. Like, why do I get server when I set web auto, right? So,
yeah. And then it's also maybe odd that you have to make it nullable to get the static one.
Yeah, I think.
And WebView you cannot. Yeah, let's scrap it. We can still do this later on if there's need.
It's
if
something
people
we can
see,
add. Yeah, if people come and complain.
Yeah. So don't complain.
Yeah.
That's my solution.
Yeah.
Okay, anyhow. Okay, so the only thing I want to do is inside the missing renderer info, I want to have a nice text. So we don't need multiple exceptions, but we need the base exception which overrides the base text. That's what I want.
So basically, you just make the class sealed, so we don't get into any.
We also, because I know we have the serializable attribute of some of them, I only want to have it in .NET 8 or greater, so we don't have to make it serializable anymore.
Yeah.
Bye-bye binary serializer.
Yeah.
And then we say, no, I want to have the CTOR.
We just want a single constructor that calls the base type
with
the message.
And then
you can make it a string, a literal. No.
Okay.
No. There's no need. Just put it directly in there. It will be a const anyway. And just but use raw string literal, so you can just write it out nicely.
Man, you're overusing that feature like by a long shot, huh?
Come on.
I'm in good mood today. So,
the grumpy Steven in the house.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you can go. I don't know where you're watching right now, but you can go and find them on my YouTube at least.
Yes.
I can. I don't know if I can post a link. I guess I can. Let's see. I think we started streaming to your channel as well.
Yes.
After a bit.
But it lasts 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. So I don't know if. Hey, so you're allowed to post links. That's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do not know how is it on Twitch. The streams are only live for a certain amount of time, and
Yeah,
or
unless you are a Twitch partner and other things, then you get to keep them around a bit longer. Yeah.
okay,
So yeah,
nice.
I was Twitch affiliated when I streamed regularly back a couple of years ago, but it's yeah, no, yeah.
You have to keep it up, huh? So you have to really do it regularly.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm still an affiliate, but they changed the rules for affiliate, so you can actually stream to multiple platforms now without getting into trouble. So and I was earning maybe a few dollars a year on commercials, so it wasn't really
Gains.
exactly. Yeah, it wasn't a money maker for me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So maybe write a component. Oh no, the component on a test. Yeah, it might not be the top level component.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's this. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can you move the editor also want us to do that anyway, our coding rules. So just move the base and sort of a semicolon, or sorry, colon, just note down to a new line. It wants it to, no, not that one. The whole base call should be, there we go. Yeah, this should be down there. And then you can.
Internally die is one of the options I prefer.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. What? Wait. So that's good.
Yeah.
I do not know what Copilot is doing, but that is, yeah, that's
It's
fine.
trying to be helpful.
Oh, so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Copilot is very aggressive.
So I guess you don't need to. We don't need to write. Please use. It's at. We just use the short form from the docs as well. Specify. So basically, specify one.
Yeah.
Specify. Well, so actually, we want people to go through test context and then renderer.
I thought not.
Well, that's what you're doing in your test. You're going through test context to renderer dot, and then iRenderer is the method that's.
Well, in my test until now, I didn't do anything. Wait.
But
where did I have
that's test.
I'm just looking. Did I close it? Was I that stupid?
Can you show just changed files?
Oh yeah, I can, of course.
Yeah.
No.
So here you're going through test context.renderer.set render info. Yeah. So that's what we want to write, because people are not gonna understand test renderer, if that makes sense.
So basically, okay, via the test context. And I'm doing myself a favor here because I know we want to support this in V2. Okay, at least this one. No, you know what? Okay, I thought I'd do myself a favor. I don't.
Yeah, so the component under test or any siblings is trying to access the renderer info property, is trying to access renderer info property, but this has not been specified. But this has not been specified. Oh, well, might have. Yeah, specified. Okay. To specify. Oh, well, specify one. To specify, set any native English speakers want to help us with this? Post your suggestion for a good error message in the chat. Make that English.
Oh, let's get. Oh, look what's coming out here. Oh, it takes ages. That's a good sign.
Oh yeah, you're using the. Okay.
Oh wait. Oh god. Just no. Give me the text. I can make it nice later. Wait. So what? Wait. Let me just put it somewhere here. And let me wait. I am in a second. I'm with you. So
Line
okay.
breaks. Yeah.
Look, wait. It didn't change anything.
Set the appropriate mode via.
That's literally what I wrote here.
Yeah. So try to ask it to make it more concise. I don't know.
The window is. This button is really hard if you
the,
have
the
zoom.
zoom. Yeah.
The component of sibling is trying to access the. That is concise. That is true.
I think so. Maybe, and then we do. So the thing with exception messages is we can choose. Like you can have this message that is suggest up front. And then do a break line, and then just have an example, right? Where you basically have a full test in
What?
code.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So take the example they have. I think it's fine to have it in again. Keep it in raw string literals.
Yeah.
So just take the content that Copilot suggested. Put that in. Yeah.
For all the folks who are native English speaker, we are really sorry butchering your language.
Yeah. So you probably actually want to have that in one line because then the UI will just. But then at the end, then do create a new line and then add an example and then say for example and then just simply doesn't matter that so then colon and then just basically take the beginning of the test that you have in our code. Basically, like, no, go over there. Yeah, just take. Yeah, you can just call it. Server, for example. Now, I would actually have the full test, like just public, just because that illustrates that we are inheriting from. Right.
Let's remove this for now.
Yeah, and you still need the fact attribute.
Valid.
And maybe change the name of the class. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's fine. Maybe add another new line between after, for example, and yeah, just add a new line where you are right now. Hit enter. There you go. And below, I think we need to add maybe the indentation isn't actually all right. I want to have maybe two.
You can see it.
Yeah, it's because.
Our documentation does 2 indentation levels, so we do. Oops.
That's fine.
And there's also a mix of tabs and spaces. Let me just check that too. That's easy. Missing after. Yeah. Well, in theory, here would be a test. So I'm not sure.
I think no. So I agree. So actually, what you can do is just add a small few dots and then add a
okay.
and then just like illustrate more stuff here, right? And then just
I don't like it today.
So what I like about raw string is that the position you have of the it'll basically remove all the white space before when you
Thank you.
start.
That's has not been. That's a good. Has bot been? Has bot been? And you can.
Yeah.
Has not been. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we could even add a bit more here. We could say the four different built-in types are server, static, WebAssembly, and if you want to
Oh yeah,
even
wait.
more.
There was this one. I would get rid of or any siblings of it, since wouldn't this get triggered from siblings? It's redundant. So
No.
the thing is that there are two. So if you have a component, it could be either the component itself, or if you think of your component which has subcomponents, also that subcomponent could be the reason we have this exception in the first place. So,
Well, actually, I want to rewrite it. Just say a component under test.
no, sorry, I was just
Yeah.
the message.
Yeah. I understand. So, but I think the point is more like let's just write a component under test is trying to, and then yeah, the rest is fine. Okay.
So you wanted to say like, for example here, depending on the render.
You could just write the 4 built-in renderer info types are. Yeah. Okay. Complete. No, it's well. Okay, that's wrong. It's web view.
That was so stupid. Yeah. Wait.
No, that's line you want to change to. No. Yeah, okay.
I know that's
web
view,
and static.
but yeah, maybe we should start with static. That's what you meant. It's alphabetically.
Yes. Well, I don't know.
I like it the most.
Yeah. You do wanna. I don't know if we're using English, British English grammar.
Yeah, as you can see, my English. No, we're using anything except that.
So you want to have a comma after WebAssembly before the and. There you go. Maybe instead of saying the 4 built-in render modes, we want to say the 4 built-in render names, because server info, it has name and yeah. I think it's Oxford. Yeah,
it's Oxford. Yeah, always Oxford.
I can't remember.
What? On the chance that I'm sounding very stupid, what's the alternative to Oxford? Is there also Cambridge English? That's an honest question. Yeah. There's Cambridge commas. I can see the full snable. Yeah, really.
I have no idea.
See you in 1.5 minutes ad break. Interesting. So we shouldn't continue. Well,
okay.
I can have my tea.
So we can, while we wait for him to come back, we can figure out the red squiggly you have on the constructor. It's probably complaining.
So if comment, then good. There is, by the way, I wait. I have to find this now. That's very important to me. Wait. Got the pressure. I want to add this somewhere as an ASCII art. Exactly. Yeah, basically. Oh, I'm on full screen. Wait, let me just put this here and let me. Where do I have this other window? Use the other one. Yeah, exactly. Basically, this why waste time say lot word when few words do trick, and I'm absolutely on the same mindset. So, but sorry. No, that was all. That was all the jokes I had.
Yeah.
I have a lot of browsers open, and this is the wrong one.
Yeah, well, I guess I am making a little bit of money for that 1.5 minutes of ad roll in Twitch. Oh boy.
StreamYard. Here we go. Perfect. So, yes. So yeah, it's just the XML doc. So this. I mean, here we have a default, huh? This is like initializes the exactly.
Yeah, and for the other one, you can just say it's exception thrown when represents an exception thrown when fine. Tap. All right. Okay.
Nice. But we're not using. Oh yeah, we are using it.
Yeah, you had
Oh,
set
we
it
are
to
so
Pro.
good. Yes, because we are so good. That said,
So yeah, I guess we
that
need to
said,
add 2 tests.
yeah. First, we have to add this test, which is true and server, because we set this here. So, first things first, no? Um, this will Firefox force manifest version 3? I don't think so. I thought the manifest version 3 is a Chrome, or
Yeah, no,
better said,
Fire
Chromium only thing, huh?
Firefox will absolutely not do that, I believe, because that's one of their killer features now that they don't have that, so that people can keep using uBlock Origin. uBlock Origin still works for my. I used Edge because I can use the same browser on all my devices, Windows devices and iOS, and then I can go in and see active tabs and history for all my devices. For example, if I'm on my phone, I was reading something on my computer, I can just go and pick that up. So I just use the same browser everywhere, and I use Edge, and uBlock still works on that as well.
There is also a V3 manifest version called uBlock Origin Lite, and I'm using it since a few weeks, and I had no issues until now. But the way or the granularity of options you have is just very limited. But for me,
Yeah.
it works.
I'm fairness. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft decides to stick it to Google by, because they're using Chromium as well, but in their Edge browser, but they can just pull out manif. They can also just not force it to be like that, right?
I think Brave has to go down the same road.
Yeah. So
And I'm not sure what happens in a few years, because Chromium will drop that support, and then you always have to bring it downstream your chain. Yeah, I have that. That's a good question, and there's no definitive answer. So D test 2 is basically right now checking the exception, or that there's an exception if you didn't set it up.
yeah. So, and I think the nice thing about us having a specific exception is that we can just say, "Hey, we expect this exception to be
Type, yeah.
thrown," and then we don't have to explicitly look for the message, because that is what it is, right?
Yes, I hear that. I hear that there's a certain thing you're not satisfied with.
No, am I?
Okay. I thought you didn't like that.
No. Was I?
No, that was just wait, what? Yeah, that was just me. That was just absolutely me.
Yeah. I think that should cover that.
Yeah. Amazing. Yes. I'm just thinking, what else do we have to check here? Well, we could.
So hey, fools, Skull, if you want to share with how to get around, ads in Twitch, it's not a problem at all. I am not making money on this. Well, if I am, I don't know. I think I got an email from Amazon, which is the ones who own Twitch, saying that I should fill in some tax things so they can pay me money, but it's like it's not even worth the 15 minutes it has to it takes to fill out that form, that amount they owe me. So yeah, don't worry about it. Use all the bloggers you can.
Okay, sorry. Hey, to be honest, I'm not sure if there's anything left. So from our point of view,
I think it's good.
Let's do we before we continue, exactly, I will make a .NET 9 ready all the things branch.
Well, try just do me a favor, run all the tests and make sure all the tests will pass. Well, actually, yeah, no, you're right. Create a branch, create a commit, push it, because you can't run .NET older versions of .NET that you don't have on your machine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we get to test it out
But there
up
shouldn't
there.
be anyway any difference. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
So
but just in case, I guess.
So wait. This is something I always keep forgetting, even this morning. And then our release preview is like, oh, you didn't add
Oh
it to
yeah,
the
you
change log.
wanna we wanna
Yeah.
update the, and we also wanna make sure that the package versions we have is pointing at RC2, right?
It does already. I did this.
Oh yeah, you fixed it. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that, huh? .NET 9 feature. Is this fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just like that? Okay. Do we do with the dots? I'm always not sure, and I always have to check. Yeah, we do dots.
It's fine. It's
Yeah, I know. I just want to be consistent. Also
Yeah,
here,
exactly.
sometimes
I
I
appreciate
screw
that.
this up. Okay. The tests are passing locally. Let's say everything above .NET 5 is passing.
Good. That's
That's
good enough
set.
for me. I am so happy by the change we made I think 2 months ago, where we figured out the reason why we had intermittent errors on on the CI pipeline on some test runs. That there has been no problems since. That's so nice. So yeah, okay. Let's get back. So back to the web, like changes in .NET
This one.
9. Yeah.
Yes,
So
we had the
actually,
render mode.
should actually, if you go back again, let's go forward. I want to just go to that page again.
I am at the what's new in .NET 9, I guess.
Yeah. I mean the render mode section. If you go into that again, yeah.
You mean this one?
Yeah. Are there things we're missing here?
Ah.
What is assigned render mode?
I'm full of enthusiasm. I know one line. When the value of. Oh wait, we can just try that. I still have my example open. This one. We have a component here, and look. This is where we probably cheat at the moment.
It is.
Yeah, this is the one where we basically never set anything, and it doesn't matter which render mode you do. In our test renderer, just basically does always the same things.
So the thing is, there is a protected property on component base called assigned render mode.
Exactly.
And that goes to render mode renderer render mode and component render mode. I see.
Where
does no? Yeah, you want to go to go to component base. Open that up.
I was in there. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, and render handler render mode.
This is where I was exactly.
Yeah.
And then I went in there.
Get component render mode. So that would get okay, but no. So that is not something we do anything. Basically that is based on. For example, if you have a parent component that has the add render directive, right, where you say this is server or something, and then you have a child component, then the child component is able to go and ask what is my assigned render mode based on my parent, for example. Typically, the parent itself would not ask for that because they know it already, because they have it specified explicitly. So I guess but I think that should just work, right? But we can write a test and see if it works. Maybe we expand that, expand our, we have our render handler tests. Not those tests, but the other test that we had for .NET 8 render mode.
This one here.
Yeah, for example. So I guess I guess it's still .NET 9 test. I believe that was added out assigned render mode.
Yeah.
So, but let's create a new test class that I guess has the add render mode directive like you have it there, but then also prints out assigned render mode. I don't know. I guess, yeah, it's not something you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just. Is there something like a toString? I mean, that thing is an interface. I'm not sure what I should.
Get type. Maybe do
Ah,
a dot get type.
true.
Yeah.
Good.
Dot name maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need the full name. We just need to know if it's interactive. We don't need
Yeah.
Microsoft dot whatever
Exactly.
comes there. Now I called that thing render info test, and that was not that smartest idea. Do we have something like inter? Well, let's make this go away for now. I'm thinking of renaming that thing to something component renderer information test. You know what I mean? Because at the end they are all
We could
related to
just
the
call
component
maybe render
itself.
mode test because this is under the feature of render
Let's
mode
call it like that.
on the docs.
That's fair. Okay, so
So
I will
maybe
fill
not
the blanks.
not renderer mode, but just render mode.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
There you go.
Public void test 003. Naming comes later. I promise you that. Then we have our component under test, which would be the assigned component. It was.
I think it got it right.
Nah, that was passed through something.
Assigned component.
Wait. Yeah, exactly.
Assigned render mode component. I think you had it right before.
Where do you see it?
No, just
No, it was render mode.
yep. It seems
What's now? I wasn't happy.
happy. Oh well. As long as the computer is happy.
True. Oh, what did we say? Assigned render mode? Yeah, I to be honest, what do we expect here? I expect basically, I expect this one. Right now, not I expect, I assume this will happen.
I don't. Go back to the component. You see, we have it right up there.
Oh, yeah.
It should say interactive server. So that is how I expect it
Oh,
to
yeah,
work.
yeah. I don't think this will come out. That would be cool if so.
I think so. So what would be interesting is if you can.
Yeah, I figured. And the reason is that we never passed that through, I guess. So if we go to the test renderer,
But
and then
I would think it picks up on that itself.
Apparently not. And I totally forgot what the name of the method was. We saw earlier. It wasn't an override, so I can just look override. Excellent. Interestingly enough, do we have to do something? Does, for example, some of the other renderers set this somewhere? You know what I mean? So what we are doing is just we say, okay, create that component, but I don't see anywhere where this render mode flows forward or inwards.
Well, okay, so render handler calls get render mode on renderer, and that calls the protected virtual. So we have another method we need to override. It's called protected. It's called get component render mode for iComponents.
Wait. I'm sorry, I'm slow. Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Stephen. Very good. Yeah, I think we have to make a similar approach, huh?
Yes and no.
Well, no, you're right. We should detect whatever is in the component.
get component render mode, and that by default calls. So it will, if that method takes. Wait, hang on. That's this guy. Oh, and we have. I think it's doing the wrong thing. Hang on. So this is getting the I component back. So in here, I am curious how.
So basically, what happens, by the way, so for the WebAssembly renderer,
it just returns.
Yeah, it just sets that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would assume for static it does the same. No, that's null. And for auto, it depends who's right now rendering. Is it the server, or did you reload the page and WebAssembly took over? Then obviously those switches.
Yeah, so that's true. Interactive server, interactive WebAssembly, I see. And then there is for the endpoint renderer, it will go and get the component state. It will get closest render mode boundary. And then it returns that. So let me send you a deep link. There we go. I'm just gonna. Oh, I put it in chat.
Nice. So that's good.
So everybody has it now, I guess. So if you go,
but I cannot. Can you? You wrote it in private chat because I cannot copy paste from the
exactly.
comments.
Yeah.
So
annoying. Exactly. So I believe we have access to the same bits there. If you, yeah, there you go. So we can definitely call get component state, get closest render mode boundary. That
is a private static one, so nope.
Private.
Well, wow. We talked about reflection a lot today.
Yeah. SSR render mode boundary. I think we probably, because apparently component state has. Hang on. Is SSR render mode boundary? That's an internal class. So I guess actually what we want to do, if we want to simulate this, is that we basically we have a component. Somebody's asking, give me the component state. We go in and do basically reflection on the component type and say, do you have the attribute? So if you have the directive at render mode, then you have an attribute. If you find that attribute on that component, that becomes its render mode. If it doesn't have that attribute, we go to the parent and say, hey, do you have that attribute? And so on and so forth, all the way up till we find one. Right. So I think that's what we want to do.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. So let's do that in the worst fashion. Yeah, statement body. I would love that. So that's just for starters, inherit docs, so it doesn't annoy me. And so we want to basically say the component. So no, absolutely not. So we have component get type. I just make it.
Hang on. Did it just make something up, or is there a I render mode something type?
Wait, sorry, I can't go back. Whatever. No, I not even. Well, no, no. That interface does not exist. That interface just doesn't exist.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, it's and I don't think we want to spend too much time on, like, if you were building production code, we would so basically it would be kind of. It is it looks to be what they're doing in when they support basically auto mode. It will go up the component tree until it finds the answer to the question. Right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be get attribute. You can only have one. It's not plural. Just get attribute.
How's it called?
I think it's render mode attribute.
Thank you. Not interactive something.
Yeah.
That should be a nullable type, huh? I hope.
Yeah.
What does
Well,
it
it returns null. Yeah. So you actually want to do while instead and just well, I guess not.
Well, if that thing, okay, this cannot be null, so it doesn't matter.
No, yeah, but I mean, we basically want to say if we find one on the component, otherwise we go to the parent and so on and so forth, right?
Exactly. I would. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, what you can do, you can just call this method recursively, right?
Yeah.
So you would just say, hey, okay, if current component doesn't have that attribute.
Well, with the nullable annotations, well, we can.
No, it's fine. So okay, so try this. Whatever you have there, render mode attribute, yeah, and then you say if render mode.
So basically, we have our return something here, something. So
yeah, well,
this part is not so interesting.
No, yeah, well, just do render mode attribute. And it has a property called mode. Well, that's what we return. Otherwise, you call itself with. So we want to do. We get the I component, but you want to do get component state on the component. Okay. So actually, hang on. Do that in the else branch. Do that in the else branch below. Yeah. Else. And then do.
Because we need the parent component.
Yeah, get component state component, and then you can just do return. So yeah, if parent component state, if that is null, we return null.
Can we return null? That we can return null. Thank you.
Yeah. Otherwise, we return get component render mode for. Yeah. And we can probably make it even more dense by using, some ternary operator.
Well,
yeah. Do a break line before the question mark and before the colon.
I want to make tail recur. No, you don't do this to me. You do this, this, and this, and normally, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's how I like it. And also,
I would like to switch it though.
I'd agree. I agree. Is not null.
Return. Yeah, that would be also an option. Would this work in any case?
Yeah. You can do that. So that's the nullable coalescent operator.
That's true. Well, no. Yeah, no. Well, wait. Does it really work in any case?
No, you don't do the assignment. Just do question mark, question mark.
True.
There you go. Yeah.
No, that makes absolutely zero sense. What? I can't return the component state.
No, you want to say component state dot parent component state.
No, yeah, we can't.
No, we can't do that because we don't want to return component state. We want to return
the iRendered component state behind.
I think what he's saying is you can do the render mode attribute dot question mark mode question mark or call the other thing.
True, but I feel this is for me, at least with my tiny brain, better.
Yeah. And what you can do is you can go. No, you. Yeah. Well, I don't
yes.
know if
All the cases.
Yeah,
Our
so
analyzers want.
yeah. So if you scroll further down, if you change, so I think I would probably just have I think I would have. So I don't like that it's the variable on 258 is called component state because it's the parent component state. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I think that's fine. It's a bit, that's a spelling mistake, but other than that, now I am just looking in the component state and seeing if the render mode is already pulled out, so we don't have to use reflections to get it. What was the name of the attribute? That was render mode attribute.
Yes.
Render mode attribute. Here we go. Let's see what references there is to that. Test file. Oh, in component fact.
So test is still red. I like that. What? Interactive. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's on. Wait, is it on me? It is on me. It's called render mode, not just interactive server. It's called interactive server render mode. Fair. Absolutely. Okay. At least the test, well, didn't pass, but it will pass now. That makes Stephen happy.
No, I don't see. I only see it when the engine is discovering components and it's finding the render mode attribute. So I think this is a reasonable way of doing it. So we want to create an example where we have it as a child component as well.
Yes.
Just to validate, and maybe a third test where we don't have a render mode and it just returns null.
Yeah, well, isn't that like implicitly done with all the components we have ever? But yes, we can do this.
Well, so the assigned render mode is.
That was not that bad. Yes. For the love of God, just do auto completion.
No, so is that the parent component? So the parent component is the one that will have the attribute. So I guess you can create a bunch of components that they don't need to have any. Do they need to have any content? I guess.
Well, wait. Okay, so the parent has it and it's inherited. That's what you mean, no?
That's my understanding. That render modes are inherited. So if the parent has the add render mode directive specified, then child components will get that, unless they override it themselves. Right. So it's not an attribute. It's no. You're on a good path. I think it's actually fine to have it there. Just create add an attribute to the parent component without no, sorry. It says without render mode. So you're all good. It should be right. Yeah. No, you're doing the right thing. Yeah. For the without case. Yeah.
There's also a with case then later. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. My bad. I was thinking about the with case first.
Sorry.
Well, no need to be sorry. I should just read what you write.
Render mode attribute on child components.
It will not set it. That's not right, though.
Yeah, true. Well, no. I was now at your case where it will happen.
No, but it also set is probably wrong. It's not going to add a mode. It's just going to. So you're going to render the parent component without render mode.
Yes.
And if you ask for, then we expect the markup matches to be the same as you had in the test above.
Yes.
because it gets it from the child. So I mean the description is
That's why I wanted to have this one.
yeah, but the renderer doesn't set any render mode attributes. So they are already there on the component. So I'm more I think the whole
Yeah, fair. Wait, I will write the test. We'll check if it passes, and then I
So I guess
more
what you
than
can
keen-
do, what you can do in the parent component without render mode is that you can go into that, and you can add an element, open element, before you have the child component, and there in that you can just I don't know a div or whatever, doesn't matter. And the content of that would be the try to get add content, and that would just be go to you just reference the assigned render mode, and that should be null. So just do a interpolated string, I guess. Yeah. And that would be assigned render mode. Close. Yeah, there you go. So that would give us a markup matches of parent signed render mode colon
nothing.
Yeah. Exactly. And then you can just update your markup matches below.
Yeah, no, that there's also file component, so that's for sure you don't want to have that.
Yeah.
Look, wait, I learned.
Oh, was I supposed to applaud?
Yeah, for myself. I applauded myself.
Yeah.
So, agreed?
I agreed.
Perfect. Amazing.
I still want us to change the name of the display name there. I don't think that's right. I haven't thought of a better name, but it's like yeah, it's something about the but it's still renderer will set. Renderer doesn't set anything. There's nothing to be set. It's just it's about where the renderer finds renderer picks the render mode. Now the render attribute is not being set.
Wait.
So basically, it's the assigned render mode is based on the closest render attribute from the component. Right. I don't know how you express that, but basically that's what happens, right? The closest, the nearest one is the one that determines. I can never spell that. There you go.
Good.
But that would also be the same name for the next test again, right?
Damn it, yeah.
Yeah. So you can give that, I guess, I don't know, render mode.
Isn't that like...
Yeah, that's right, but I think the input is wrong. Maybe give it something else then.
It uses angle sharp. Boo. Don't do this to me.
Yeah.
Can you say...
I think you might have to spell it out because there's also the static type there, like the render mode attribute and render mode. No, that's not. So you want
that is the wrong one.
Yeah. So they've sort of.
I will do it like that until the... Yeah, exactly. And now I just have to find the real one.
Yeah, you can,
What do
then
you
you can
take
use,
here?
yeah, you can, as it suggests there, you can do interactive client, I don't know.
What's protected?
No, that's not protected. I'm fairly certain of that at least. No, it's a public abstract class render mode attribute.
Wait. Okay.
But hang on, it's abstract.
True. Oh.
So that means there must be attributes that inherit from it.
No, I'm just dumb as heck. It's the interactive render mode, for example, interactive server render mode. Isn't it called like that? Render mode.
The thing is, I don't find one that inherits from.
Yeah, this one. Oh no, you're right.
No, it's. I see in Microsoft tests they have created their own internal class that inherits from it.
Scott has something. Wait, and there's now attribute. No, there's nothing here. Render tree string rendering. No.
Oh, the type, I can tell you the namespace. It's under Microsoft ASP.NET Core Components.
And then
Dot render mode attribute.
God damn it! Why don't I have it? That's the same thing again, but I need one implementation of that.
Yeah, and
because this is just a marker interface. It seems. I mean, it's not because there's also a property, but also the property is abstract.
Yeah, but it is an abstract class. Let's go to
source.net. I'm
looking at it right now. I'm just going to jump to GitHub because the thing is, just look at that on GitHub. I'm trying to find anything that implements that type. And there's no, besides a test render mode attribute, I don't see them having any. It might only be in the compiler, actually. Can you
Yeah.
It might literally just be the compiler that spits something out. Can you see the decompiled version of
our assigned thingy here? From this one?
For example. Yeah. Let's see what it actually uses there.
Assigned. Where's that beautiful component? It's under render. Sorry. Render mode here. Zum Beispiel, sorry, I'll switch to German. Interactive auto here, server component. Let's take this one.
Just pick one and scroll down till we find the attribute.
Routing.
Private component render mode attribute. Okay, yeah, so it's a generated type they have.
Okay, so we basically also have to generate the component.
Well, we just have to fine.
Exactly. That's fine.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's a shortcut if we don't. Yeah.
Yes. And yes.
Well,
I will do the shortcut.
So I guess what you do is you create a type that can just we already have test components that can take child components but don't have any render mode on them. So you can use that for your mic component doesn't have a render mode.
What?
But I guess no, just create a parent component with render mode and parent component without render mode.
But the without I have, so that's fine. Don't need to.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know? That's right. Yeah. No, so the thing is, we can't you just do no, because it's what we want to add is we want to add an attribute, but apparently the Razor compiler automatically generates implementation of that. When you do something like that, maybe use something else with the interactive server just so we can see that it's different from the child.
Yeah, interactive here WebAssembly.
Yeah, so that render mode directive we have there will automatically generate an implementation of the abstract attribute that, that we are looking for. So, and I guess have parameters that you can pass down a child parameter, like what's it called? You know, add a code block to the component, or we can just hard code it. It's more that we probably want an example where we put a component in there that doesn't have an explicit render mode set. So if you make that component have a param, the child content params, we can just pass in. Yeah, so you can reuse it. Mm-hmm.
Why does the indentation so... Okay, yeah. Might be right.
Okay.
Why not? Why do I have to write it entirely before?
It's because it probably hasn't generated
it works,
it yet.
No? Really?
And you can just pass in. You can just pass in the child component as a generic parameter. No, just.
Yeah.
That's an overload, I believe. Yeah.
Why not? I just take this. I know at least the string and the server one. I know the string. Where am I?
One higher up. No, you want to have assigned render mode component as a child component.
You're right. I don't know what's going on with IntelliSense because we've rendered that component multiple times. It cannot be now.
I think
that works, you know. So.
Yeah.
It's late.
That external keyboard is getting a beating.
Yeah. No.
And then, yeah. Okay.
You know, you want to see a classic?
Yeah.
Does that work? Can I have the same name? Yeah. XUnit doesn't mind, huh?
No, the display name can be the same. It's not going to make it easy for us to understand.
No,
the
I
test
know,
output,
I know.
But, yeah.
Oh, I guess I interact. I always keep forgetting the render mode here at the back because I think, you know, GitHub Copilot is enough. Wait, the assigned is based on where.
Yeah, I in the code I write now at work and other places, I've just instead of trying to specify the assertion and all, you know, the full use case in the name of the test, I just write what is the, like in this part, it would be, this test would just be, if I was naming it today, following sort of a standard I follow, it would just be parent and child with render mode specified.
No, let's do it. If you think that's better.
Yeah, well, so for that to work, but I'm not saying necessarily it's better, but I think, yeah, it might be better in this particular case because what I've sort of, at some point I realized that you need to read the test anyway. So unless you want to write a full length sentence that describes everything that's going on in the test, and the end result is typically, if you go and change the test, you need to remember to, it's like a comment in the code, right? You end up having to update that anyway. So I think we have one more case, right? We have a case where there's no render mode assigned in either place, both child and parent. So it's like a Boolean. So we have false false, we have true false, and false true and true true, right? So there's basically 4 different tests we want to have. No render mode in both child and parent, and
that's why you want to move this one out, huh?
I just want to put it in. So you basically have. Yeah, I think just maybe extract it and put it next to the other components that are, because it's going to, it's going to be weird that it's there, but the other ones are in the other place. So. And I guess we want assigned render mode component, and then we want an assigned render mode maybe rename assigned render mode component to child component.
That's not necessarily
with render
true.
Mode, and
we use it somewhere up here without being a child, you see. And I don't like, that doesn't make sense.
So let's do this. Let's call it component. Well, honestly, what we can do is we can just create 2 components. One called component with render mode specified, and one component without render mode specified. And if they can have an optional child content parameter they will render if something is passed to them.
So those 2, or literally those 2.
Yeah, exactly. But just make the render fragment nullable, right? Yeah, there you go. And then I guess we need to rename them. So it's just a component with render mode, component without render mode.
See?
Yeah. But then I want you to rename the test components themselves, so they're not called parent component, because you can also pass them in as a child component, and also for the other one. There you go. And then just instead of using assigned render mode, just use component with and without, and then just delete. You can just delete the assigned render mode component, if that makes sense.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need it here. I cannot have the same component in itself.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. That's no problem.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought of recursiveness here, but...
I think it should be fine. Now, I guess... So we have 2 without, and we have... Well, so the parent, so the name... I guess to differentiate it, right? So what you can do is you can just say, go into the component with and without render mode, because you want to change the text. So we can. So if you go into that one, you can basically say if child content is not null, you say parent. Otherwise, you just say assigned. So do an if around the word parent, and make a conditional on if child component is not null. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, okay. So then you don't use the if. You just type. You just. Yeah. There you go. child content. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and do the copy paste that to the other test you have. Yep. Okay. So now you should be able to update the description.
The description? Oh, you mean this one here?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, yeah. We can do that afterwards. But yeah, we basically need 4 different tests to cover all the 4 combinations.
Wait, why is it failing? They are not H1s anymore. First things first. Are you kidding me? Negative. I'm tired. Which description do you want to update? They should be right anyway, not?
Yeah. Actually, do we want to have 2 components? A component with interactive server render mode and component with WebAssembly render mode. Just because we want to be able to see that if we have 2 with render mode, that it's different, like it's not inherited, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But
so
here this one is not.
Yeah,
we had a different component earlier. Wait.
Yeah. So one doesn't have a render mode and the other has. So the one without render mode is fine, but just copy paste the one with a render mode and rename one of them to yeah, and then copy paste it. Yeah, and then changed. There you go. So now we have. Now for the one where we have both of them have a render mode, you can change one of them to be different, so we can actually validate that it's doing what we expect it to do. And actually, that was right assertion.
Yeah. Obvious. Just, keep the entropy high.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to see if there's more things related to this that we should be looking at. So we have the render info property handled. We have the assigned render mode not null. What about pre-rendering? Well, that would be visible through the assigned render mode, whether or not it's pre-rendering or not enabled.
Yep.
Interactive server mode. Yeah. No, I think that's what's needed to surface this to the user. Hang on. Render mode propagates. Okay. If you go back to, go ahead. Do your thing. I'm just going to read aloud here in the meantime. Or rather, let me do this so people can follow along. And I'm going to steal the screen. I'm going to move us over. Here we go. So render modes propagate down the component hierarchy. Rules for applying render modes. The default static mode is static. Interactive server, interactive WebAssembly, and interactive auto render modes can be used from a component, including using different render modes for sibling components.
Which we allowed and tested.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. you can't switch to a different interactive mode in a child component. For example, a server component can't be a child of a WebAssembly component. Parameters passed to an interactive child component from a static parent must be JSON serializable. So I think we do actually have a test that shows that we do this, but
well, we do this. We switch and we allow it right now.
yeah, but I think it's below, like it's. I don't want so we could enforce this rule in our test, right? So in theory, when we are asked to render a component, and then you would just traverse through the thing. But so seeing as the Blazor runtime doesn't blow up, I think, yeah, in the runtime it will scan your assemblies and find components and see if they don't line up. I think it's above our what we need to do. Let's see here. Inherit if send. Let's have a look here. Shared message. Yeah, that's just if shared message component is placed in a statically rendered parent component, the shared message component is also rendered statically and isn't interactive. The button doesn't call update message and isn't updated. If the shared message component is placed in a component that defines the render mode, it inherits the applied render mode. Okay, so that's basically confirms what we've done, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Child components with different render modes. The following example: both shared message component are pre-rendered and appear on the page when the page is displayed in the browser. So you can basically do this.
Yeah, this is fine, I guess, because they're not siblings to each other.
No, they're not. Well, they are siblings, but the first component, interactive server-side rendering, is interactive after signal connection established. The second component, client-side rendering, is interactive after the Blazor bundle is downloaded on the .NET runtime of the client. Yeah. So should we be? I want what code is even generated when you do this? Like use the @render mode attribute. I wonder if this is an edge case that does something that we should be detecting. So if you go back to your sample application,
which I closed successfully.
Let me know when you have it up and running. I can switch over
to
So if you basically, actually, this is, I want a real .NET 9 web app we can spin up, where you can, maybe not. I don't know if it makes any difference.
Probably not. Let's check it out. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious if we have the shared message component that they have an example here. Like what happens if, like what is the code that is generated? What is the code that is?
I think they do is this here. Mode.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm wondering what is generated when you say render mode dot, I don't know, interactive server. You can type interactive server. Yeah, you just do.
Is it like that?
Yeah. Well, so in Blazor, it assumes that you have. The example they have is they have the render mode dot. So you want to do render mode dot because it's a static class, right? And then you get an render mode dot, and then you have one of the.
That's all I wanted.
You can do static imports, and then it would be available directly, as you see in the example, right? So render info, you can do that with the render info component actually. Just so instead of having called a share component, you have already created the render info component, so just use that. Yeah. So I wonder what is being generated here.
Don't you wanna
analyzers?
No, it's source generators. But I don't need this normally. Normally, I don't need this in a normal app. Like you saw it earlier in our application. It also
we have
showcases
turned on. I think it's under analyzers though.
No. I can show. Oh wait, here I can assure you that's not. It's
Okay.
really here. This one's all generated.
Yeah.
Source generators, and then you have
Oh,
the namespace where the
that's
source
nice.
generator is created.
That's
It
nice.
makes it way easier
yeah, they
to.
don't do that in Visual Studio as far as I remember.
But what I can do is just to say, hey, give me that reveal and finder, and it's just to do it, the good old, the boring way, the boring way. The book. There was. I don't know which one. I just opened everything here. Let's go, writer. I have no idea. Which one was it?
Another component.
No, yeah, was it? No,
Mhm.
it was not.
No.
No, so it was unit. That was. I wasn't that smart. No,
it's doing itself. It's nested inside
that's
itself.
not really helpful. Let's do this.
Yeah. And then, no, the wrong angle. Yeah. Then you had your render info component. You probably want to change. That doesn't matter, I guess. No. You. Oh, I. So it messes me up that the highlight over in the Solution Explorer still highlights another component, but you're editing another component. I'm used to.
Yeah, you can set this up, and I did this once, and yeah,
just
you know what? Too late.
Track active files or something. It's called.
Yeah. But we know now which component was it? It was the another component. So let me just go here. This one, it's openness. Yeah, here. So is there a render mode?
So what is it doing?
Let's move this way away, and let's move this away. And you can see here again, it sets something.
It's open.
So it opens the component, and it basically sets this as a.
It assigns a variable global render mode. To something.
But what? And then puts it as there is a specific code for that.
Okay.
Which does a whole lot of things.
Yeah. Now, I'm wondering if you go back in our bUnit test and create another component that does this. Well, no, actually, I guess what I'm wondering is, so the example you had, you were basically assigning a render mode, but we haven't defined, like, don't have the render mode attribute set in. So I'm wondering, I guess what I'm wondering is if the additional component you just created, if
you only want to have this part. No, basically what you want is the component without, like this, and you want to set it for it.
Yes, I'm wondering if that means assigned render mode actually does a thing. If it changes assigned render mode. Because then our solution isn't complete. But that's probably a production thing we would have to test in a production setting, right?
You mean now, or just rewrite a test?
Well, I'm not sure we can write a test because we want to figure out how it works in production.
Okay.
Or if that is not surfaced to it.
I feel like this is a longer thing. Do we want to maybe pick this up next time?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things where we want to experiment and figure out. I think what we have for now works for that one case, but maybe it's not complete. So yeah.
That's good. I mean, yes, we have to check it also with the pre-rendering stuff and whatnot. There's more to come. That's why I think, like, before we start this, we need time. Like,
sorry, I just stole the screen. So I just wanted to quickly scroll through just so we have an idea of what we have installed. So this was basically in the what's new location interactive render mode, assigned render mode. So we might have more to do with the assigned render mode parts. Improved server interactive reconnection experience. I don't think that applies to us at all. Right? Okay. Simplified authentication.
It depends. I'm not sure with serialization. Maybe I cannot 100% say no, but it feels like we should be in the clear. There's not much to do.
Yeah. So they have a cost. They have different authentication state providers, but we still have our fake implementation of that.
Exactly, and
I
may or
think
may
that
not
just
be adopted.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. That you can basically say mark components to that so that they're excluded from interactive render mode. I think that's not something we want to worry about. That's again more configuration thing. Constructor injection, we already have covered that. You fixed that in the earlier
Yes,
PR.
yes.
WebSocket compression for interactive server components.
Probably nothing to do on
No.
our side.
Handle keyboard composition events. That's probably something we need to
Oh yeah.
maybe. So I'm. Well, we could decide not to do anything about it, in a sense that it's, as far as I can tell, just a new is composing Boolean. We do have all the. Did we actually have source generator spit out all the combinations?
No.
But I think people still have the option of passing in keyboard event arcs directly.
Yes.
So
yes.
we don't need. Well, we could add the additional overload that also has that, but yeah, it might be a quick one to do. So yeah, we can do.
Or what we also agreed earlier, maybe until someone complains.
Yeah.
Then we pick it up.
Yes. Then there's overscan can't quick grid. We might want to double check that our hacking of quick grid works in testing still.
Well, right now quick grid is just the third party. So the only thing we did until now is having a bit of documentation that showcases what you should do with JavaScript.
That's actually not true. We have
What?
by default implemented in bUnit something related to quick grid. So if we go here, well, okay, too far. But if we quick grid, fairly certain. No, it's under source, and I guess web, and there is something related to JS interrupt, basically where we intercept with the quick grid. That's hard to say.
I'm almost certain that we don't do this. If you find us, let me know. The only thing we did is we have it in the issues on GitHub, some or discussion, I can't remember. Some of the calls the grid does internally, we provided a bit of information, and I thought that we also put it onto the documentation website. It could be that we didn't. But I'm fairly certain that we have nothing in our code for sure about quick grid, because we decided earlier, it didn't receive .NET 8 timeframe. It didn't receive much love and commits, and then we were like, okay, we don't know if this thing dies or not. And then when it got some traction, we saw that
you're right. Sorry,
we didn't want to have code.
Thinking about it, it's virtualization.
So that absolutely, that's first class. That's true. That we have.
Yeah. So you're right.
And yes, there was something new. They set the max count. That is true. That is something changing, or it changed with .NET 9. That's why our tests are a bit different now. That's true. That we should have a look at.
Yeah, but the overscan count for virtualize, but this seems to have nothing to do with virtualize. It's just
probably under the hood. I would assume it uses virtualize.
It does. But I believe also that if we go to, I think virtualize. The virtualized component itself supports that, and it was just not surfaced in quick grid. Virtualize source, isn't that No, that was this guy here. Yeah. So virtualize, it does have child item, placeholder, empty, item size, overscan count. So they just surfaced this from virtualize up to quick grid, so you can control it in quick grid. But it's not new, as far as I remember. Well,
So nothing to do from our
yeah.
side.
And input component support range. I don't think that changes anything for us. Signal stuff, that's not something we worry about. Improve activities, that's not something for us. Signal supports trimming and native AOT.
And then we are already somewhere else. Oh,
No,
Web API. That's
minimal API. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like it might just be that we need to finish up the whole renderer mode stuff. And then I think, besides what you already did with constructor injection, I think we're good to go for .NET 9.
I think so too.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Well, I think it's almost 4:30 here, my time. So that must be 5:30 your time. So
Yes.
let's call it a stream. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We will finish up the render mode stuff next week. Dive a bit deeper on how it works, and if time allows, we can also go back and have a look at the PR you're working on for the navigation manager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well-
Perfect. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Go left or right.
Yeah. Thanks for coding with us, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.
Have a nice one. Cheers.